I am glad, guys, by the way, that
Yes.
I can feel my face again because I did get a filling today, and I was slightly worried about the timing that the left side of my face was numb, and I was a little concerned as we were going, like, is this going to go away? I really hope this goes away and I don't sound like an idiot on the podcast
Thanks for
any
rolling the
more than
dice
I
on us like
usually
that. Yeah.
any more than I usually do, of course. Yes.
You almost sounded like Zoidberg.
Yeah. Yes, almost. Well, I did. I just didn't have the recording of it. I was trying to get angry at my kids about something, but every time I made an F sound, it made like a fart sound with my mouth,
I'm
like
sure they were
without me wanting to. So I was trying to
super
get my point across
intimidated.
to my children, but all my Fs were farts, and so they were just laughing at me, and I was like, "This is my body is sabotaging me."
You kid!
Yeah.
Stop it!
That's what it sounded like. I had to stop. I had to walk away.
I'm angry, but I can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I've been kind of tired lately just because I don't know, I have so many jobs.
Mhm.
It's expensive. It's expensive to live.
To be alive. Yeah.
And I was wondering, what would you guys do if you were just like fabulously wealthy? Like people hate you because of how much money you have. What would you do?
Wow, that's a good coincidence on something else I wanted to say. So I'll bring that up in a second. Fabulously well.
Is it get a filling?
It's related. It's not related to filling. It's related to big wealth. Oof.
I think you got to do something weird. You got to have one of those societies that, only the J.D. Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts and such, you've got, oh, well, we walk into this city block and now you're finding an area that's all communal living. It's 700 gardens and only 40 living spaces, but the living spaces only run as a 3 by 100 foot long corridor that you live in. Just so that way they can't tear it down simply by virtue of this is too bizarre and therefore it must be artistically relevant. That's number one on my list.
That's it. I was almost gonna say that one, but you took it, Alex.
Yeah, well, I figured you would, Zach. Yeah.
Dang it.
3 foot by 100 foot. Your house is like a 2D platformer. Like, let me jump up to my bed.
Oh, so you know about my storage method. Perfect. That works out great then.
I have a weird. Well, okay. I think it'd be cool to own a minor league sports team for one. I don't think I'd want to do a major league sports team. They're just so expensive. Even being ridiculously rich, you'd have to blow it all on buying the team. That's how expensive they are. But I think a minor league team would be fun to run and try to make it better and make a profit. And there's a lot of cool stuff with sports teams. I don't know what it would be. There's not like a minor.
What kind of sports team? Curling?
Definitely curling. That was my number one option. But probably baseball sounds fun. Probably there's a lot of baseball teams out there, but I don't know like the margins and things for like a AA baseball team. Like I don't know what kind of money they're making out there. No,
those concessions.
Disrespect to
they're wild.
Any of our AA baseball players that listen.
Speaking of getting weird with stuff, I think you could get pretty weird with the concessions. Just like it's a Phoenix dog. And what does that mean? Oh, it's got habaneros and chocolate milkshake on it.
See,
there we go.
It is a good avenue for creativity. That actually, okay, so I saw a hypothetical today that combines the two things you just said. Here we go. You become insanely
habaneros
rich.
And milkshakes?
You become insanely rich with a catch. Like we're talking like 100 generations past you won't have to work, that kind of rich. But the only stipulation is that you must travel 500 miles for any meal. You can have 200 to 300 calorie snacks just very sporadically, but for an actual meal, you first have to travel 500. Well, I don't know about first. I guess it could be 250 to get back home. But 500 miles have to be traveled for a meal. But you're insanely rich. Money is not an object. Do you do it?
Can I be on the International Space Station or a spaceship of my own?
There's no other
around the Earth.
There's no other stipulation. So wait.
Smart.
Oh yes, right.
Can I count that the Earth is moving?
Okay, yes. There was your descendants are not confined to these rules stipulation, and the distance is relative to your position on the Earth's surface stipulation, to avoid being like, well, I'm technically moving in space right now.
So my dilemma is: would I inconvenience myself to set all of my ancestors up forever?
Correct.
Or, you know what, you 1,000 generations are not
Screw
worth.
you guys. I want some good food. I want to eat this hot dog at Costco.
I want it to be convenient.
Yeah. I say yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's every day.
Fabulously wealthy.
I'd probably eat fewer meals.
Yeah, just be like a snake. Just once a month. That's enough.
I don't know if I can survive on a month. Alex is shaking his head no, though.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think the biggest thing
He
that
does
gets
say
me
screw
is
his future generations.
no, it's the snack provision. Oh, you can have snacks occasionally. I don't like that. You're first limiting my meals, and then you're saying to yourself, you know what? I really need to take away the joy that he gets from little snacks and treats. You may have had too many today. No, get me out
Well,
of there.
you could
I don't want
have
that.
more snacks. Like I think it says you're permitted 200 to 300 calorie snacks a day. So if you want a fourth snack, go travel
What is
500
the
miles.
stipulation on top of here is what I guess I'm really getting at. Because there
I
at a
don't
certain point
really
where they're
know
like,
why
well, sorry, you're only allowed to have 3. Who's telling me this? Who
I
set
don't
me
know,
up
the-
for
the-
hundreds of generations and then limited my snack intake?
The
That's
rich
the
wealth
person I've got a beef with.
The rich wealth food.
Could I survive as this 900 calorie a day skeleton man and not have to worry about meals?
Yes, and
Or traveling.
Alex, no one's stopping you from traveling 500 miles to get like a Snickers bar or whatever. If you're not you and you're angry. If you're not you and you're hungry, whatever it is.
You're right. And you know what? No one's stopping me from doing less than that now to have a Snickers bar. So take that.
This is true. Sorry that I questioned your methods, Alex. Well,
if I was rich, okay. So let me just preface this with: I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a financial analyst,
Okay.
but if I had money, tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown, buy a Mercury or two. I'm crazy about a Mercury.
we don't have a Mercury ad sponsor yet, Patrick. You can't bring it up
I'm
now.
gonna buy me a Mercury and cruise it up and down the road. That's what I would do.
By the way,
No question.
yeah, I have
Like
no
in
questions.
1993, I think.
I have no questions about this concept.
Good.
Uh,
Fabulously wealthy.
We at Animorphs 55, the podcast, would love to hear from you. You can email the show at animorphspodpeople@gmail.com. We also post links to other listening methods, our Blue Sky account, and links to friends of the show on our Linktree at linktree.com/Animorphs55, the podcast. Enjoy the show.
Mercury.
Welcome to Animorphs 55, the podcast. I'm Zach, one of your hosts.
I'm Patrick, two of your hosts.
I'm Alex, 3 of your hosts.
So many hosts today.
Oh, that doesn't really work for everybody, I guess. We need to introduce our next host today.
Hi, I'm Serena. I'm a blogger, and I covered the Animorphs. Did a whole reread.
And we're
Hi, Serena.
We're extremely happy to have her here. The library ladies. If you
Yeah,
haven't
for the
been
library ladies. Yep.
there.
What's that website?
Libraryladies.com.
Oh,
Very
got it early
straightforward.
on that. Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
That's easy.
People really fought over library ladies.
How long has it been?
IP.
How long has it been going on?
We've been up for almost 10 years. It was 2016, I think,
Wow.
somewhere around there. So
Still
quite a
going
while.
strong.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we want to give you plenty of time to talk about everything. Do you want to start off getting into book 10, the android?
Yeah.
I do always have this running gag, Serena, that we have to show / describe the amazing cover in an audio format with our beautiful Marco with the short hair turning into a wolf spider.
That was a big point in the book.
It
Very
is.
important.
It
would not
is.
Stop
It is.
talking about his haircut.
With his haircut, yeah. Which is there's a story behind that. I think that I've heard. Maybe it's more rumor than fact that they got a different cover model
Is that a different cover model, or did you just cut his hair? I can never figure it out.
Yeah, because I looked closely. I think the story is, and people could like get in the comments and be like, "That's not true" or "is true," is that they got a different cover model who had short hair, and just showed the Applegate / Grant, and then they were like, well, okay, I like it. I'll just write in the short hair as a plot point in this book.
I don't know. It looks kind of different on the covers.
Yeah, you think it looks different?
Gotta say, yeah, okay. I think so. But those of you with physical copies at home and on our host for the podcast, you would have a better view on this than I do. I'm looking at it digitally. You're looking at it with that tactile feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, pull them both out unless you're driving.
Weird. I feel like it was hard to really see his face. Like he's kind of far back. I don't have it.
That's why he's turning into a gorilla.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a full body shot, and I guess it's a full body shot too, but he's crouching, so it's a little different. Yeah. It's also a thicker book. It's only like maybe the longest one we've read so far, I think. I didn't do a page count compared to the first one, but yeah. I mean, any initial thoughts you guys want to talk about first before we just kind of go into the plot and work our way through?
My wife was actually asking me about. She said, "Hey, wasn't the last Marco book a book where he turns into a bug as well?" And I said, I'm going to have to actually go back and check my notes because I don't remember. Was the last time that we saw Marco in his own POV when they turn into ants?
That was the first ants
and
book,
lobsters.
But he wasn't an ant on the cover.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's a gorilla on the cover, but that was the Ants and Lobsters book.
That's right.
Yeah, she was asking what they had against Marco, and I said, I don't know.
He has got a rough shot with the things that he's been morphing. I mean, the lobsters aren't bugs technically, but I mean that's quite similar in the grossness factor as far as
he's
morphing
the punching
goes.
bag today.
Yeah.
And this is right before. I mean, they do flies the next book. I mean, I think I've talked about how it's impressive that they do bugs so early. I feel like I'd be like putting off bugs as long as I could.
They're so useful. I feel like of all the things they use throughout the whole series, the bugs are like always so useful.
100%. 100%. It would still freak me out to hold a cockroach.
Yeah.
For sure. You just wrestle one into a matchbook. Oh, Jake.
Jake and his various confinements for insects. Yes.
We
Great
can
job,
crap
buddy.
on Jake another time. So in this one, we start off with Marco convincing Jake, "Hey, let's go to a very '90s concert, please, for free because we can morph into dogs."
It's like an incredible concert, right? It's got the Offspring, 9 Inch Nails,
Alanis.
who else? Like
Alanis.
Yeah.
Giant bands, unless they just all happen to be touring right when they're getting a start, because this is like an outdoor concert, right? You wouldn't have dogs running around like indoors. They're just like 3 giant bands doing a concert in the park.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I saw Third Eye Blind one time for free. Like, I think it's like a thing.
I'm not saying that it's not cool.
It's unlikely.
Yeah, I mean this is 90s. I mean, yeah, this is pretty 90s. And it takes him like, I don't know, a whole like 3 minutes to convince Jake. I mean, if we don't, then really we're not fighting the war we're supposed to. So.
I'm gonna do it anyways. You can come or not.
Yeah. Well, now I have to watch after you. So yeah.
It's jarring to jump in. Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was gonna say it's refreshing always. I think to see that dynamic. I think it's an important role that Marco plays to see that other side of Jake, because obviously so many of his books he's serious, and then even in a lot of the others he's fairly serious. Marco is one of the few characters that seems to really get the kid side of Jake out. So it's always it's nice.
And
to
especially they get more of that one-on-one time, which may happen other times. We just don't see it because we're not either of those characters. Yeah.
Well, and it feels good. It feels good to have Jake and Marco being younger, especially given how everyone else seems to see Jake as kind of this, well, Jake said that, we need to make sure that we're following the rules and everything. And it's kind of strange for me to get a little bit of whiplash from last book where the idea of we really can't morph, this is even if it's something that's going to, protect us or overall make a big difference for us. Jake said we're really not supposed to morph and I don't want him to find out. And Marco's like, come on, buddy, we got to get in and we got to see this music show. Come on. And he says, absolutely.
Whose rules
Caves
are you breaking?
Yeah, you rewind like a week. It is like Jake's yelling at Cassie, don't turn into a skunk. I don't care about skunk babies. Anyways, I want to go see some Offspring, please.
A concert I'm going to.
Didn't he even reference it being a little bit hypocritical? Because there was that one.
I think so.
Was it the Cassie book where they both morph rats or whatever? And
Yep.
he got on their case about it.
Yep. Yep.
It's like, oof.
But really, this scene is just to set up seeing something strange, or in this case, smelling something strange, which was Marco saw a buddy that used to go to a school named Eric, and he has no smell. And previous to this, they've talked about how much you can smell everything ever as a dog. So it's very glaring that this kid has no smell, and that's weird. And they do have some really good conversations, the Animorphs do, about what that could mean. Like Rachel's like, I don't know, maybe he showers? Like, chill out. Not everyone stinks like you, you know?
You're right, Rachel. Somebody just showered a lot. That's it. Case closed. Everybody go
and
home.
You know that wouldn't be it, because it would smell like Axe. Because not Axe the Andalite. Axe is in the body spray.
Thank you for clarifying.
You were really cleaning a lot.
I'm not following that.
Yeah. So, they decide either way, it's weird for a kid not to smell. Let's go see what's up with that.
Gotta smell like something.
Additionally, he's handing out flyers to the sharing, and so that's always like I don't like this guy because he's
red flag.
Handing out stuff for the red flag, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So what was next?
We had Eric showed up at his mom's funeral was one of the things that Marco specifically calls out. He said, I remember seeing him. That's part of the reason why I think he sticks out even further is the idea of, I haven't seen him in a while. He transferred schools or he transferred out somewhere. And last time I saw him, he was at my mom's funeral and he looked like he was having emotions that are unexpected for a funeral case, which was an interesting thing to remember about it. I mean, I guess, you go to a funeral and if there's someone really acting out of pocket, I could see it being memorable, but seems to have stuck with him really, really firmly.
Especially because it seems like it's not like they're close friends. It sounds like they said hi in the hall. So the fact that he even came at all is pretty strange. And then, I don't know, teenage boys getting emotional at funerals for, passing friends. That would be odd.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, later in the book, he says, why do I have to do this? And he says, well, Eric's your friend. And he's like, I barely know the guy.
Yeah. Which was a pretty...
I'm lucky I remembered his name.
It's a good line, Marco, yeah. And speaking of that, Alex, there's very much we won't tell you the name of our school. We don't want anyone to find us. Don't tell us we won't say our last names or our school. But screw Eric, I guess, because I'll tell you his last name and I'll tell you the school
where
he
he lives and where he used to go. They just rat him out cold.
Yeah. But to be fair, I believe, again, this is like, is it rumor or fact? People chime in. Is that the name Eric King, I believe, came from a fan contest of someone who, I don't remember what the contest was. They wrote into something or it was a drawing or I don't know what exactly it was. But they got their name placed in a book and it ended up being this character that ends up having coming up a a lot. I don't know.
I
how
love
much
learning stuff on the show.
time.
I had heard that before too, and it does definitely seem like something that would be happening. Like I remember there was this period of time there was all these like write into your book series and then these kind of competitions with writing challenges for kids and
and I remember you get these like even this copy I have like I can tell there's like a crease in it where there used to be like some sort of perforated like thing in it, and
postcards in one.
And you send it in or a bookmark or whatever it was.
Oh no, that means Zach sent in his entry form.
I know. I'm just waiting to find out if I'll be in this book. And so they got to figure out how to find. How do we find this guy? Someone says we could look him up on the internet, I guess. And someone shoots him down like, no, that's dumb.
It was
look
a
in the phone book. Which is
all their elaborate plans of like how they could like stalk him from like the class and all these things, and it's like just perfect Animorphs overthinking like crazy overthought plans that are just terrible. Someone's like, I think it was Cassie. You could just use the phone book.
You could just look.
Which now is also very like that's the last thing you would do. That's the worst idea. It would be very
reversed. That's right.
Jake, do you think he's got a GeoCities or an Angel Fire?
Oh
no, just check the phone book.
Yeah. So they decided to go scope him out. This is when they see Eric running away from the bullies that are after him on the street.
And, Tobias is being a bird and looking at Eric from up above.
Because they find him. Spoiler, they find him. They find Eric. Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And he describes some people walking up on him like they're hunting him. And having read the book before, it's like, oh, I know what these guys are. They're dog themed robots, and so they're hunting him. And I was very wrong.
Okay. Oh yes. Serena, Patrick has read this one time through, while Alex has read this 0 times through, while I've read this quite a few times through. Yeah. So that's our context. But yeah, Tobias is like, I hate these guys because I hate bullies, because he has experience with bullies.
And he's like, they're kids. I can't go for their eyes.
Yeah,
that's like my thing.
They're not Hork-Bajir, so I can't take them out. Yeah. And Eric runs, trips, and slams into a bus that doesn't
the bus
stop.
Keeps driving. It just keeps going. Like,
rude.
Run.
Like, you just hit a kid. What?
It was a different time. It was a different time. Yeah, and his they don't say hologram, but it's very much like some kind of projection flickers, and you just see like metal for a second, and then it goes back, and Eric walks away, and the Animorphs are like, what is that about? I mean, because they've seen some weird stuff, and this still, they freeze like, what?
Marco books do a really good job, too, of that kind of incomprehensible, like something wild just happened. I'm still kind of processing it as it's being written out, and you're kind of telling the story, which I do like. I like the idea of, I just saw a kid get hit by a bus. I think he may have turned into a series of metal and plastic parts and then turned back into a person. I don't know. Anyways, we're going on to the next chapter. It's very, very much so. Kid just saw something they shouldn't.
It is, because like Cassie would be dwelling on it. She'd be like, what are the implications?
The moral
of
dilemma.
This? What? Yeah. Or Rachel would be like, oh my God, is that a threat? Do I need to go tackle? Like, do I need to go take this thing out? Yeah. Marco's
do I need to figure out how to morph into a bus and do it again?
Yeah. Marco's just like, I don't know. What? Just, I can do that later. Just hold on. Yeah. Fly away.
We're already following this guy. I'll ask him about it.
Yeah.
This is written in such a cool way. Like, I was hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's this new mysterious thing that we're adding to the whole Animorphs world, and I was really excited to find out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Good job, yeah.
Zach.
And thank you. And so they do decide, all right, let's go to this sharing event. Although I believe first we get Marco calls Jake. Tom gets on the phone in the meantime, and is...
They didn't have cell phones back then.
Right.
Just the one line for your house.
Which I was talking to my wife a bit about this. Like, when I think later Marco gets a phone call and his dad's like, Marco, phone! And I was just thinking, it was a good time. Like, the phone rings and you're busy doing something. Your parents say, hey, phone's for you. Oh, phone's for me? You like run into the other room. Like, that was good stuff.
Oh, it was like getting mail.
Yeah.
I never get mail.
Yeah, that was a good feeling. Really, it gave me a little 5 seconds of nostalgia feeling, I guess, for landlines for some reason.
Yeah, and you gotta like practice your self-confidence, and if it's like the brother or the mom or something, can I talk to my friend?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, hi, Mrs. Even though I never call you anything because I just don't really know how do I say your last name? Do I not say your last name? Yeah, that whole deal. Maybe that was just me. And so they talk to Tom on the phone, and Tom is like, yeah, you should come out to something at the Sharon's throwing a cool thing, which they already know about from these flyers. Yeah, you should come out and see this, and bring your dad. I mean, get to know him too. That'd be fun.
He's doing science,
make
right?
some business connections. Cool, Tom. See ya.
The Yeerks need to work on their pitches.
Yeah, it was I think she did a really good job of capturing like the menace of that conversation from like Marco's side of it, and like just how because it could just read very casually, but like we're in his head and we also know like what's going on here, and it's just I don't know. There's something about the way that she wrote it that really captured the horror of Marco understanding fully what Tom was trying to do, and the reality that like the Tom he used to know, the older brother, is still there, not able to do anything about it, watching himself try and get his brother's best friend's dad into this horrible thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of subtext there, and especially with the context of 10 prior, like we've been further into it. It hits harder, I think. Right. and Jake gets on the phone, and Marco like flips out.
Right.
And I love Jake's side of just being like, like Marco's like presumably like cursing and freaking out, and Jake's like, yeah,
cool, man.
Right, that's great.
Absolutely.
Okay, see you later. He's just like screaming. I imagine Tom just hearing like, it's like it's real loud on the phone. You can still hear like a blah 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 blah. Okay, it's a weird conversation. I guess kids these days, whatever. But they do decide to go to this sharing activity. It's a big barbecue
up in the mountains, right?
Yeah, like lake in the mountains.
Water skiing, in fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big outdoor adventure. And
yeah, but before that, they get a wolf spider morph because they need something with weird eyes that see differently. Because they're like, well, it's probably a hologram, but I don't want to hit him with a bus again. I want to see what he looks like.
Yeah, we don't need a bus morph.
I mean, Rachel would have volunteered with her elephant, I am sure.
This is very true. That's a good point.
Guys, I need a bunch of cardboard and markers. You're going to make me look like a bus.
Yeah.
And we get a little bit of shape up in the back in the barn kind of area where you just get a little bit. I like the kind of in media res. You kind of drop the characters in and you say, all right, cool, let's go with them. When they all approach and they're like, no, we're talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about going to the mall. That feels a little flimsy, but here I really liked it because you get Tobias and Cassie kind of talking something that very much calls back to the last book, where Cassie's talking about some new possum babies that are there, and Tobias says, "Oh, don't you worry, I saw them." And she says, "Don't eat those new babies." And he says, "Okay, well, just this time for you." And
you got me.
Cute, sweet, kids being kids with each other. Again, I feel like the Marco books do a really good job of showing that off, and it's not in the moments where he's like, "Here are three bands that would never play together that we should go see a show." It's the humanizing around those moments that Marco books do a really good job at.
Yeah. For all the books that like critics of the different narrators, and they say like Cassie's the most in tune with people, I think Marco's like rivals up there on being in tune with people pretty well. He just expresses it differently. He's like, Rachel's a crazy person, versus Cassie would be like, oh, she's just very aggressive and that kind of thing or whatever. But they both kind of like know like that end game of where they're looking.
Yeah, people.
But they do get those wolf spiders, and it's Marco says, all right, we're drawing short straws for this. We're gonna have a fistful of straws. Whoever gets the short straw, they have to morph. Axe has to do it anyway because it's an alien thing. Whatever. One of us has to do it. Okay, I will go first because it's the least likely that I'll get it. Draws it. It's immediately, oh my gosh, I got the short straw. Like right away,
Great
like immediately.
Good thought. Just unfortunately, that's how it goes, bud.
I love the way he said it too. He said something like, but it did mathematically make sense. Like in a very pitiful, like, but it's supposed to work out.
That's very Marco, because Marco, I think, he's the most strategic of them. So it makes sense that he was the one that's like, I'm going to think out this whole drawing system and come up with the exact right way to game it. And then, no.
Poor Marco, though, because it's his book and you're going to end up having to do it, Marco. Yeah.
And we get the line beforehand where he says, all right, well, we can morph into whatever small things that we like, just no more insects. And Cassie's like, well, technically it's an arachnid.
Yeah.
Which got him.
Thank you, Cassie.
You really showed him.
Really excited about this, Cassie. Yeah.
And I am not a spiderologist. Between the cover and the name Wolf Spider, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a big shaggy tarantula, right? And then he describes, like, I got hairs on me because I'm a spider, but I'm only like an inch tall, and he's a spider. He's not a wolf tarantula. And so I found myself thinking, no, it's a tarantula. Oh, he reminded me, no, it's a spider.
Yeah.
But it's a tarantula. No, Patrick, stop it.
When
Spider.
It was describing the morphing, I was reading it out loud to my wife because I'm taking her along on this journey with me. I'm reading it aloud, and I'm in on the words, just going through, get about halfway through the description of turning into this spider, and I just look over at her, and she had the worst look on her face. She was like, "What are you reading to me right now?" And I just thought, wow, I'm really I'm used to this.
Desensitized.
Yeah, desensitized. Exactly, that's the right word. I'm very desensitized to this. I forget how just gross this is right off the bat. It's pretty disgusting how he describes turning into a wolf spider.
Very visceral. Yeah. Very,
Too much
very,
neck stuff in this book. Like too many things
yes.
coming out of necks. Because there was legs,
Yes.
and later there's other things.
Cut it out.
Necks,
This is
not
correct.
not good.
Yeah, I'll remember this book as the neck book. Yeah. So he turns the spider and he immediately goes after a roach. And he's like, I'm not out of control.
Beetle.
Like, I'm not. The spider brain doesn't have me, but man, I'm riding this high, and I'm gonna go after this roach, basically because I'm just angry right now, and I want to take it out on something. But then he feels bad about it because Axe's like,
And he's
what are
like,
you doing?
I'm in control of this. I'm chasing this thing because I want to,
Not because
and
I
then
have
Axe is
to.
like, you are definitely not acting like yourself.
Yeah, so he gets called out on that. Okay, fine. They crawl along, and Jake is flying around as a housefly. At least Jake, maybe more. I can't recall for that exact detail. And they all three of them kind of at the same time see a weird shimmery, see-through-y. It's shimmery to Jake's eyes, see-through-y to Axe and Marco's eyes. And there's another one somewhere. Like, oh my god, there's two of these things. They see it's very fuzzy, kind of you can see through it, but kind of still see like the skin of the legs and the feet and so on. But inside, it's like you can see the bones inside. But instead of the bones, it's metal and like some kind of ivory-looking thing. And it doesn't look very human either. It looks more... They don't say dog directly at first, I don't think. They say stuff like a paw or like a reverse knee and things like that. And so just hints at dog-like features underneath a hologram. And Axe is like, yeah, he's an android. That's an android right there. We found an android here. Yep. Well, I don't know what to do with that information, so...
And so then Marco gets eaten by a bird.
Yeah.
He's like,
golly.
help, I'm inside something.
I'm suddenly inside something. It's pressing all around me. I can't breathe. Everyone's freaking out.
As well as they do describing turning into a spider, it's equally horrifying being eaten by a bird.
Oh my god!
Just the claustrophobia and just being crushed and legs are broken. I can't breathe.
And I was fine. I'm completely fine. And within like 5 seconds, I'm now 10 seconds away from dying because I got to figure this out quick.
And he was yelling his morph, like his thought speak publicly, which you know obviously creates a lot more tension to like solve the problem. But you also have to wonder how that doesn't happen more regularly because I feel like they're always getting horribly maimed and like torn apart. You would think that you would often run into this problem, like yelling in like a public way and then giving yourself away because you're dying and they're always dying. I don't know. It's funny. It comes up here, but I don't remember it coming up before or ever again, really. But it seems like it would be a problem.
I thought about that at the end. I'm not going to detail the end, but the end they're having a big fight and they're just yelling a ton about it. And I'm wondering if it's external because they're not focused enough to be like, no, I can only yell this to Jake and whoever else. So yeah, does it not give away? They're like, we don't ever talk to the Yeerks because they don't want them to know we're humans. Oh, yeah. But I will scream for my life to them quite often. And it's
regularly.
Yeah, the only way I can see of them not accidentally yelling to everybody would be like some kind of AOL instant messenger sort of. All right, send to Jake. Help! My leg fell off.
End message.
At everyone. A.
Yeah.
This is a 2 exclamation point kind of 3.
Yeah.
Send.
Yeah.
Well, is it not the human brains that don't receive the thought speech? So if all of the people at the sharing were human,
they do. If it's open, it's to everybody. It's even to like the crickets or whatever. Is my understanding. Is that how?
It's just not a human can't broadcast; they can only receive. Okay, I'm with it.
Right? Elfinger landed in the first book, and he's like, "Hey, this is what's up."
Yeah.
I don't have a mouth, and you don't have morphing powers yet.
Yes.
And
I should go back and read those books. Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, they're pretty good. You should try it, Alex.
Let's do a reread.
Let's do a recap of our podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm panicking, and it's like, Tobias, are you up here somewhere? Because I can't see anything. And Tobias is like, I don't know. There's like 100 crows up here. I don't know which one you're in. And Marco just says, I mean,
can you explode one?
Yeah, there's nothing else to do except morph out. Like, I'm dead anyways. So, okay. And he does enough to explode out of a crow. Gross. And then land on the floor, but he's like, however far up they were, I don't remember if it described it, but he's small enough still, not high enough that he lands, and he's okay, demorphs. And then Eric is right on top of him, seeing him demorph. Okay, so in the span of like, I don't know, like 30 minutes, he had to turn into a spider and watch himself become a spider. He then he's like climbing on a roach the size of him and attacking it. He's like having to see, get through his anger, and then feels bad about like his anger that he's taking it out of this roach.
He's almost stepped on by a big old foot.
That's right. He then sees, oh my god, it's a robot. Oh my god, there's 2 robots. Then he gets eaten. Then he explodes out of a bird. Then he thinks he's given away the secret of the Animorphs to this random stranger. And then he's like, oh no, I didn't, because he's a good guy. That is a huge emotional roller coaster that he just went on in 30 minutes that I don't think any other character has gone through to this point. I don't even know if they go through again in that short of a span, having that many big events happen. I mean, I was stressed out just reading it, and I'm not him.
Yeah, I felt a little bit of guilt, like, oh no, I let everybody down. Wait, that's not me. It's fine.
How have you done this, Patrick? Yeah. But essentially he says, it's fine, Marco, because the way the Yeerks are looking for the commotion, and he's like, hey, look over that way. There's nothing over here. Okay, you clearly are not trying to give me away, at least at the moment. So it gives him a little bit of a reprieve from a freak out, full-on anxiety attack for just a few minutes.
The situational comedy of, I know who you are, Andalite bandits, and I'm going to tell everyone what's going on. Just kidding. Also, this is my friend Jenny. Hey, he's not over here. Just it was very silly the way that it overall worked out, and it very much gave that impression of like, I don't need to worry about this guy. He seems like he's on the side of the angel, so that put him in a good spot for me.
If it was a TV episode, it would very much have cut off with Eric looking and being like, oh, I know what you are, Marco. Commercial break. And then coming back being like, Jenny, this is the Animorph bandits, I think,
I told you about them.
Yeah. And this is the part that we did on their way to turning into spiders. Marco, just back up 30 minutes prior to all these traumatic events. Marco did say, I don't really want to morph a spider, Axe. This is freaking me out. And Axe is like, yeah, it freaks me out too with all my mass that'll go into Z space.
Yeah.
So I guess I forgot that traumatic event too, to just suddenly learn this right before the next 8 big things that happen.
Yeah, so when you morph something that's smaller than you, your mass has to go somewhere, and so it goes into Z space, and it just kind of hangs out as just a whole bunch of butt or whatever.
Yep.
And he was so nicely reassured that it wouldn't pop; it would just get disintegrated by the shields. So don't worry about it.
Yeah,
so you're fine.
Much better.
It's fine.
Yeah, because a ship could fly through it. It's very, very low chance because space is big. But Z space is also big.
Yeah.
But the ships that would hit it would have shields, and you wouldn't need to worry about it.
Yeah. That's about as much as we find out about Z. It's Z for zero space, but that's about the maximum that we find out about it at this moment. But it does answer a question, because we have kind of a direct question, but we kind of wondered, how do you get smaller?
We answered half the question, because we understand now, okay, where does your mass go when you get smaller? Where does the mass come from when you get big? Is it Z space as well?
My head
maybe it's in a future book, I'm sure.
I can't. Serena, do you remember? Does it directly answer that? Or if I created a thing in my head about how the answer is to that? Do you have an answer for that?
I don't think it ever answers that. I think it just worries about the small.
Do you have a headcanon answer for that?
Well, I think it's communal. So all the things are in Z space, and you just pull from whoever happens to be smaller at the time and use that mass. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's not Marco blob. It's just human blob, or not even any. It's just undisclosed species blob, and just pull some to turn into a bigger thing. That's how I don't like that. Well.
Yeah, that's a little gross.
Is it any more or less gross than anything else?
That's the real sharing right there. You're sharing DNA. Enjoy.
That's the real sharing.
Oh.
That's where they got the name.
That's where
that explains it.
They don't understand
Mr. 3 was inspired.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I like to assume that the Andalites threw a morphing cube into the sun, and now there's just a star that's in Z space.
Yeah. And
but it would have had to turn into like a fly or something.
probably
know.
like there, yeah.
And
At
be
some
alive.
point, someone had to go small first to kick it off, right? Because you can't go big with nothing there. Where did it
Yeah.
start? The big bang of the sharing in Z space.
Oh, that would make some.
What if everything you eat when you're in a morph goes into Z space?
Everything you eat goes
Ah.
in Z space. So then
Well,
it,
that's a lot of urgency for Tobias then, because his as Marco described it, the hanging his butt out a car window, mass
permanently.
that's remaining is just there. Yeah, it's his butt's out the car window the whole time.
but does he need
So
it? I mean, does he
He's
need
not
it?
using his butt.
He's not using it. Yeah,
right now,
right
maybe
now.
one day.
Maybe one day. You're right. Just best not to tell Tobias about this.
Yeah, as we always think to ourselves. Don't reassure
Poor
Tobias.
Tobias.
He'll get ideas.
Tobias really got
He had like
pushed
two lines.
aside. Yeah, exactly. He very much got pushed aside.
We saw a
in this
little
book.
bit of his bragging about his bird knowledge in
Yeah.
this one. Of like, oh, Marco, always make sure to look above you. That's where all the, he just had these little moments. How dare you, Jake, question whether that was a squirrel on top of the shed? Obviously, I know. I am a hawk.
Yeah.
So it's like very. He's got his little
Yeah.
pride where he has it now. That's all he's got.
That's all he's got.
Bird
Exactly.
pride.
What else? Yeah. Oof.
Oh, and it would just be super bad manners for everybody to be like, "Don't you know this about humans, Tobias?"
Yeah.
Oof.
Cool.
So after this totally normal day, Marco goes home and has to eat cooked chicken on a plate after he just watched a bird explode. Or
He almost had to eat crow.
Participated.
yeah, participate. But the real zinger in this is this conversation with him and his dad. Alex, this is your first time to have that experience. What was that
Man.
experience like for the conversation between Marco and his dad at dinner?
Oh man, it was very much so like a realistic. I've got something on my mind, and you're just having a normal conversation, and he's like, hey, how's school going? Oh, school's going okay. How's life going? I can only think about your mother and the things that she said to me whenever I was in the dark moments of my soul. She told me never to work for the military because the wrong people would come. All right, good talking to you too, Dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It was a heavily emotional moment, but
Yeah.
it was a lot to put on Marco too, and it's a little jarring in his books when you go from Marco that jokester to everything that's going on with his dad. Anytime we cut to his dad, it's real heavy.
Brings the room
it's
down.
real heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The short version of that conversation is, I remember before your mom disappeared, died to him.
Yeah.
That just suddenly one day we were fighting before, and then suddenly everything clicked and we were good. We were fine. Everything was good. And Mark was like, "Oh my gosh, that was the moment she became a controller," because the Yeerk doesn't have time for petty little domestic conflict, and so he's aware now of when she turned, and then he's like, one of the things that she said to me was, don't work for the military. They can't get you if you don't work for the military. She just randomly sat up in bed one night and said it. Clearly,
how
she
they
fought
get ya.
through the Yeerk to explain it, and he's always taken that to heart, even though he didn't really understand it. Made me think of the Swing Away from Signs with Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah.
And now he's thinking, well, man, good money though this time, or whatever the reason is, and
Mommy's not here.
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go work for a defense contractor now that your mom's dead.
Right.
Man, that's a
Yeah.
lot to put on a kid, even without the subtext of Marco knowing that
Right.
that was the moment.
Right. So now he understands why Tom was recruiting his dad to come to that outing, because they're interested in him right now because of what he's doing for a company called Matcom, which I mean, it's not very specific about what they're doing yet, but that's like their reasoning. Yeah. So okay. So Eric's like, hey, meet us at my house, and we'll explain everything. And we get like 6 chapters of exposition of just
It's
a
so
lot
much.
a lot of space story going on.
Yeah, so everybody goes into the house except for Tobias, because he's a bird and he made poor choices.
Mhm.
And then Rachel, who is going to morph probably Grizzly.
I think that was just poorly done. I mean, I just don't think I would leave Rachel by herself, essentially. I mean, there's no way Tobias is like going to dictate to Rachel what she does. You need someone else, the more steady head, to be out there with Rachel, as they will learn. Like,
I mean, like immediately when
We've been in there for like
they
30 seconds.
They go down
We
an elevator.
gotta break the house down.
They go down an elevator and they're immediately out of thought speak range, right? So presumably, from her point of view, she can't hear from them.
They're
whole
lucky
time.
she didn't come in immediately. She showed a lot of restraint for Rachel.
Good job, Rachel.
Very
good
patient.
job. I want the Rachel book point of view of this book, just waiting outside and being like, "Do I go? Do I go now? Can I go now, Tobias? Can I go now? Please let me go now, Tobias. Come on."
Well, I mean, like, so that we get all the exposition stuff, and we'll talk about that. But like, they all go up and they see Rachel in the living room, and she's wrestling with Eric, the robot that's playing Eric's dad, and he's just like, "No, I got this bear. This is no problem. I'm very strong."
Yeah.
And so maybe Rachel did go in, and
how long was she in that headlock?
Yeah. So the it is a lot of like lore dropped at once.
Yeah.
They go in Eric's house, they go down an elevator, they go to this big giant dog park underground lit by like a fake
Thousands
sun
of dogs
looking thing. And Eric comes over and is like, "You're probably wondering how you like record scratch. You're probably wondering how you got here in this situation." And we hear the story of new alien terms, the Pemelites and the Howlers. And also the Chee, which is what Eric is.
Chee.
He is a Chee, yeah.
Yeah.
The short version is the Pemelites were very peaceful dog-like aliens that just play games and hang out. They've evolved beyond the conflict and war, which is a cool concept, and created these buddies, these android buddies that look a little bit like them, very, very dog-like, to hang out with them, to be playmates. And then this alien group called the Howlers come and just decimate everybody for no apparent reason at the moment. And a few escape. Pemelites die off. They rush off into Earth. The rest of them die off, and it's just the Chee left, who are now super strong, as Patrick said, because they were created on a planet that had a lot stronger gravity.
4 times gravity.
So they had to counter that. So now on Earth, they're super strong.
Right.
What about all that? What about that story?
Yeah.
Little side story within the story.
It's interesting because you get this kind of impression. They very much they give you the sanitized pitch. They say, we were created by the Pemelites, and we were created to be companions and not slaves because we're evolved past that, and we're even ahead of the Andalites in all of our technology and such.
You axe bristling.
Right. Axe is like, I don't know about all that. We were pretty good.
Were you though, Axe? Were you?
Yeah. Good try, bud. But you get all of this, and then the Howlers showed up, and they were pure evil, and they killed everybody except for a few people, and then we had to disseminate their souls amongst dogs. Which
we
was
left
such
Pemelites souls through dogs on Earth. That's right.
It was a very jarring and abrupt ending, and especially the part that got me was you've got Cassie in the room, I believe, and she has nothing to say about the idea of like, if you just categorized a race of people as pure evil, maybe they had their reasons and such like that. But again, we can't see inside Cassie's head. We're inside Marco's head right now.
That's right. That's right.
That wild, just a wild. Here's some races. Here's the good ones, and then here are the evil ones, and we're the good ones, obviously.
Obviously, because we're the ones telling you the story.
Right.
Yeah. Now, will we find out it from the Howlers again? Don't know. But for now,
okay.
Howlers bad, Pemelites good. You're right.
Absolutely.
And there's one other piece here is that since they were playmates designed by the Pemelites, they're not supposed to be violent in any way. It's actually impossible for them to do so because it's against their programming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're given a little Mission Impossible spiel here, where Eric says, "Speaking of you randomly finding out about the Pemelites today, there happens to be a Pemelite crystal that the Yeerks have discovered recently through some random trader that didn't know
the
what they had."
MacGuffin. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's being held at MatCom, where your dad's
yeah.
going to work.
Wow,
Perfect.
can you believe these three things are just triangulating at this moment? Yeah, and this crystal, there's two things. It's that the Yeerks could use it to, very 90s, take over all the computers, whatever that
computers.
means. Yeah.
Yeah, Axe can basically take over any computer he wants already. I feel like the Yeerks could already do this.
Just ask Alaran and you're fine. Yeah. And
they just got to learn DOS.
that's
They'll
it.
be fine.
If
That's
anything has
it.
better things to do with his time than code, there's no way he's above that, so we can't ask him.
Yeah, that's
They
right.
already said mean things about the Andalites. They said, "Oh, we were ahead of the Andalites," and Axe said, "Well, I'm definitely not helping you then. So you should have asked me first. We didn't need a crystal."
Yeah, and conversely, while the Yeerks want to have the crystal for that reason, Eric says, if I got that crystal, I could rewrite the programming in me, and I could actually fight and help you guys, like physically fight, rather than just giving you intel like I'm currently able to do because I've infiltrated the sharing and all these things. So can you help me do that? And now there's another Chee, whatever, Maria, I think is what she goes by, that's like,
Yes.
yeah, but you can't do that because this is the moral dilemma. Is we've thousands of years we've never, acted violent in any way. You guys would just throw that away for to save, the day / world. And Marco and Jake are both like, yep, absolutely, 100%. I will do that. Yep, yes.
The world is important to me. Yes.
How many ways can I say yes? But Cassie's like, of course. No, she doesn't say no, which I thought was interesting. She says, let's talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, I'm going to say no later probably. But
that is diplomatic. You should be airing your infighting in front of this like group that you literally just met. They really don't have anything. They're trusting them quite a lot based on just being told facts on like one meet cute situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't be probably sharing
Valid description.
all my conversations with them.
And by the way, I did have a question about you guys from you guys on this. Was he did show that they're like, how do you pass as a controller? Like you go in and out of the Yeerk pool. So he's like, yeah, I go to the Yeerk pool and I let a Yeerk hologram out and a Yeerk hologram back in. But I've actually kept the Yeerk that was assigned to me, so they're not like wondering or something. I mean, I don't know why you had to hold the Yeerk in. Basically, Eric is holding a Yeerk hostage.
Well, it would never come back. Then it goes into the pool. Why would it ever go back?
Well, no, I mean, like, why did you ever need the Yeerk in the first place? Like, couldn't you just go down and like fake that you're getting a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know how much they track it, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess there's probably some kind of like
how many are in the pool, but then your hologram would need to somehow project itself as a number. I don't know.
What's your Yeerk's name? Yeerk123. Hey,
checks out.
Actually, Yeerk123 is he's in Tom's head, right? That guy over there has got Yeerk123.
Yeah.
This guy's a phony.
Yeah. But he said, I don't do violence, but he has this Yeerk.
And he's keeping it alive, like a frog or a tadpole inside of a little jar, and
as just like a living data point.
That feels like worse than
violence. Is that violence?
I feel like, maybe dying would be worse than just living a perpetual unlife of just being pumped for information because you're part of a hive mind connection.
That's like you could just solve a lot of the Yeerks. Couldn't you just go in there and have a lot of them infest all the Chee and then hold them in your heads and you've now like decimated the numbers because they're all just in jail in your head?
All just in jail,
yeah. If that's not
I like that idea.
Maybe they all have that, or no one else opened their heads up to show a Yeerk trapped in theirs. I don't know if like Maria has one in there or not.
If you were a Yeerk in the Yeerk pool and somebody held their ear next to the pool and you're like, hey, this is like metal.
You've heard of Build-A-Bear. Now introducing Build-A-Chee Workshop.
This guy's got like a metal ear,
but
it looks normal.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird aliens. I don't know. It's probably some alien.
Unless you perhaps accidentally install a Pemalite crystal, and then,
okay, just how Hertfordshire are. Oh, you haven't been to Hertfordshire yet?
Ivory, metal, a burning desire to fight in an intergalactic war, but held back by creator standards, super strength, hologram. It's all up to you. Remember, supplies will be limited due to the Howler genocide, so visit your local Build-A-Chee workshop today. Build peace, build love, build a Chee.
So not only do the Yeerks have this crystal, but they have it under heavy. The Mission Impossible aspect is to get to this crystal. It's inside a building through a series of tunnels that open into a super dark room that has zero light. In fact, if any light shows up, then an alarm will go off. There's also wires throughout the room. If it's touched, an alarm will go off. If you touch the floor, the ceilings, or walls, an alarm will go off. Otherwise, it's fine. Just get the crystal.
But wait, this is impossible. There's no way we could ever do that. And then Cassie's like, I'm your animal guy. Here's the animal that can do that. It's a bat.
This is where I thrive. Yeah. Yeah. Cassie, you're up to bat on this one. Can you figure it out? Up to bat. Oh my gosh. A bat.
I'm turning into a bat.
It wasn't Cassie's idea in the first place. Yeah. So they all become bats. And in classic Animorphs fashion.
Yeah, they're like, we're doing this a week before we're planning to. We'll have plenty of time to practice because a lot of times
literally the first time I think they even mentioned practicing.
That's
what
like
a
I'm
running
saying.
joke I had with my reviews was that they never practiced their morphs. I'm like,
yeah, Marco said it like, oh, we always do that. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, when have you ever?
Jake practiced the roast once by himself and got stuck behind a refrigerator.
Which is arguably not practicing. You're not practicing safe morphing.
Yeah.
Not well.
Yeah. So they're at he's at his house, and then he gets a call from Eric. It's like, hey, in code on the phone. You know that thing we were gonna do? Well, I think we're gonna do it tonight. Crap, we got to do it tonight. So it gets rushed.
No time for
and all their plans, quote plans, are messed up, and they just have to go do it tonight. They all meet at this. I did like the dig at generic corporate buildings.
Generic corporate buildings have had it good for too long. We gotta take them down a peg.
It's just one of those generic corporate buildings. In fact, it was so generic I couldn't find it. Where is this place? Oh, there it is. It just happens to say Matcom on it compared to that other one that says some other name on it. It all looks the same. Yeah. But they get there.
And so they land on the roof and they're like, wait, okay, Eric said it was on the southeast corner? No, northwest. Okay, great. Yeah, I don't know which way is northwest. Even if the sun was up, and I might not know which way is northwest.
And Axe had directions built in, and I think I forgot that. I knew that he had time built in. I don't think I remember that directions were built in. And
I didn't either. I don't think they actually. I feel like that should be used more. I don't ever feel like it's referenced. I feel like that'd be a very necessary skill that you would talk about. But I don't. The time thing focus.
I have an alternate explanation for it that Axe decided to just be like, all right, I got to play it cool around these guys. I figured out that, these constellations face these directions and that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. I can tell direction no matter where we are, guys. Just definitely.
Built
That's as long as we're outside. That's an Andalite thing. Sure.
It's like with the time thing, like, oh yeah, I have time. Didn't we talk about that? Oh yeah, I can keep track of time.
I have time.
Kids are all freaking out. I don't know. It's like an hour. I don't know. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I can keep track of time. Great. Siri, set an alarm for 2 hours from now.
Yeah, good. So they go through this. So the plan is, Axe and Marco go spider, jump down a tall tube that goes through the building, make a not a web, but like a rope out of your
web rope.
Yeah, web
silk
rope.
Thread.
Out of your silk thread is a better term.
You're so good at spiders, Alex.
All the way down as far as you can. And I did love, like, as they're going, they're like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is cool. I think I'm out. I think I'm out of silk. What do we do? I guess we just jump because I don't know what else to do.
Which, of course, they would both be out at the same time. They morphed the exact same spider.
Right. And I love that Axe says, I guess we have to figure out if it's a lethal drop. And Marco's like, well, the only way to find out if it's a lethal drop is if you die. Like, that sucks. Come on, man. Help me out here.
We get one go.
But
and everybody else is roaches, and they're going to climb down their thread. And now, can roaches climb on walls? I don't remember.
I think
in apartments I've lived in, yes.
True.
Maybe it's a slippery metal pipe that's.
Yeah, I did not live in any slippery metal pipes, so I can't speak to that. Sorry.
Yeah. And Tobias is notably gone, so there are 5 of them at this point. Tobias is out.
Right.
And so they're going through. They survive the fall. They're going through the tunnels. Oh my gosh, a rat! We're gonna die from a rat. We're doing all this other stuff, and we have to deal with this rat.
Marco complains he can't look over his shoulder because he doesn't have shoulders.
That's right.
So he like turns around. And he's like, rat, run.
Yeah, run. Must go faster. Faster.
The rat is much faster than them.
And they climb over that some spires.
I might have read spikes, but I was
sure spiky spires works.
Yeah,
and it smells weird,
Spikel
and it just
spires.
doesn't feel right. And there's like a weird glow. Oh my God, it's the furnace, isn't it? This is the furnace in the building. Well, it's fine. It's not cold outside. Okay, so now we're gonna make a dig on corporate buildings again, where they're gonna just blast the heat on like a summer day. You know how it is. They blast the AC. This is freezing all the time, burning all the time. It's never a good temperature in a corporate building, right?
Just as they can.
So they're just gonna heat it up, and so they almost get fried. Roasted. They almost got roasted, popped, and fried. I think roasted, fried, and popped. I think was what Marco said. Something like that.
Not snap, crackled, and popped. It's
basically
else.
Gross.
Not proprietary. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the funny moment where Jake was only concerned about Cassie. That had come up earlier. Something about they're shooting each other lovey-dovey looks all the time. And so it was a pretty funny moment of like Jake's like, Cassie, you okay? And Marco's like, I'm fine too.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks for asking. Yeah. And that was like a full chapter or two of that. And then it was like, they got to the end of that, and it's like, oh, now the mission starts. Like, really, now we got to the room. We did all that just to get to the room. But they found the room. Super black, super quiet. I don't really know if they describe the size because they can't really see it. But this is when it's their time to shine as bats that they've never flown as before.
Just a quick question as far as clarification goes, because they mentioned earlier in this book that you have to transform back into your human self first. So was there just a sufficient amount of room for them to change from the insects that they were, or the arachnids that they were, into humans and then into bats?
I guess the floor is not sensitive yet.
There's a 2 foot. There's like a 2 foot perimeter around the outside wall. I think they said that at some point. In it. So I think if they're on the
they turn the sensor off.
I missed it.
Let's
just right there. Just in case. You never know. We need to make a walk around the room, I guess.
Of course.
Don't touch the walls because they're alarmed. But the floor right by the walls, totally fine.
Totally fine. Yeah.
Perfect.
Just a bunch of hammocks.
And this is a great Animorphs moment to me. They all fly like this kamikaze flying through this thing. Oh my gosh! And we're there. Great. We're here. All right, let's get this crystal out.
And it's what, the size of like a marble, right? It's
maybe a little bigger.
It is a bright pink marble.
I'm getting something like pretty small. Yeah.
Did it say it was bright pink, or did I imagine that?
I can't remember. It said diamond-like at one point. That could be pink. Depending on your quality of diamond, I guess. Anyways, so they fly over there. They get the crystal, and they're like, "Yes, let's get this thing out of here." I don't know how to get this thing out of here. Like, I can't pick it up
because they can't use their hands because they have to use them to fly, and they can't use their mouth because they have to use it to echolocate. And I don't know why they can't use their feet.
I think it's too smooth and big.
Yeah, they didn't even say it though. I don't think they actually say why they can't use their feet, which is kind of odd. But
yeah,
presumably
they just can't. Stop asking questions. All right, it's a problem. Trust me.
So
if you touch the walls, alarm goes off. If you touch the wires, alarm goes off. If you touch the crystal with feet, alarm goes off.
That's right. That was one of the contingents. Yeah, that was one of the rules. So then Rachel's like, "Oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. I don't have to do this weird sneaking around thing."
It's been like an hour since I killed something. It's driving me crazy.
Calm down. This bloodlust is a lot, girl.
Yeah. So they all I guess demorph in the middle also.
There's like a pillar that they can land on.
Okay, so they had another range of no floor sensing.
Sure.
Okay, great.
I am imagining them all being bats and like getting around the crystal and just hugging and then growing into a big hug, like a big 5-person hug.
Yeah.
And Axe with his rear legs just fine
just sticking
somehow.
And they all say, "All right, we got to bust our way out of this thing. I think a door's over there. I think." And then Rachel is a grizzly. She's like, "Well, there is now. Even if there wasn't, there is now." And they all just plow out with their battle morphs. And Marco's like, "Well, there's 20 human controllers and 24 Hork-Bajir.
Yeah, a lot of guns.
We're fine. Probably. We're good." No,
and Eric told them this. Eric told them, "Hey, you cannot really fight your way in or out. They're going to have elite Hork-Bajir. They're going to have people with, it's going to be armed. We knew this. This is a known quantity. And they said, nah, we made it in. We're fine.
But we're the Animorphs. We can do it.
Yeah.
Turns out they couldn't do it.
Only have to deal with half of them.
Yeah, they, man, is this the biggest butt kicking they've had? It is, right? Like,
It's a pretty solid one.
I mean, I know there was the other Marco book where they felt defeated because they just got captured and taken up to the Yeerk mothership, but I mean, that wasn't as violent. That was just like, well, we're screwed, and they just got taken. Like, this is a violent.
Well, the Rachel book. I mean, I guess we don't. That's another just hopeless moment, not necessarily beat up because they were stuck in the Yeerk pool or whatever.
They had that fight to get the Kandrona too.
Yeah, that was also rough with her hand. Oof.
I think that was one where someone was beating someone with their own leg. Was that one of those?
Is it Rachel with her own paw? She definitely lost a paw.
That's right.
And it seems like she would have maybe used it as a weapon.
Yeah. So yeah, they're. I mean, I think it's like ready, start the fight, and there's a hole in my stomach right away because the Hork-Bajir kicked it with his clawed feet. So just within seconds, Marco's already like mortally wounded.
Yeah. This was rough.
They're all having a bad time. Actually, ends up losing an arm at one point. Somehow grabbed it on his way out. It was good.
It was everybody is screaming in my head in many different ways. That was a great, very succinct description of just what I imagine the absolute bedlam and chaos of battle would be, rather than having to be like, here's exactly what they did and here's how they. It was very effective just to show we're getting our butts kicked. Everyone is feeling overwhelmed. Everybody is getting beaten down. That was rough.
And it described it like ahead of time. Marco was like, I just know everything's about to go nuts. I felt the fear like wash over me. I'm gonna die. And Marco died. Like he died.
Close.
He's good at his job.
Yeah.
Called it.
I mean, he says, "Oh, that kick." He doesn't. I don't. Unless I forgot. He's like, that kick by another Hork-Bajir, that did it. I don't know exactly what it did, but it did something. And he was like, "That's it."
He's feeling himself go numb, and he's like, everything's shutting down.
I'm out.
All I can do now is I see Eric standing outside the window. Got just enough to like flop punch my hand through it with the crystal in it. And Eric grabs the crystal and rewrites himself, and Marco's
He's not conscious.
Awake, not conscious to see what happens, which he later finds out is a good thing. 'Cause it's gross.
Yeah. Like, what do you guys? This is the point of view of Marco. He wakes up saved out in the field or woods or whatever, and everyone, all the Animorphs are just like wide-eyed, like, that was pretty crazy. And Eric's over by himself, just having a bad time, very sad. And they don't really describe directly what happened, other than
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, and Eric took care of it in seconds. I mean, what do you do to 30, 40 people in seconds?
And it was quite a description, too, because we very much have this, everything worked out all right. He got the computer, he was able to reprogram himself, and he was able to take care of everybody. And so, by definition of the mission, job well done. But this does not feel celebratory. This does not feel, hey, we just won a battle. No, there's no mood of joy coming off of this. There is just resignation to, this is not the worst thing that could have happened, which rough to read.
Yeah, I don't even think they bring up the computer taking over thing again. They're not like, oh, good, we saved the computers from being overridden or whatever the thing was. They just were like,
stopped everybody's live journals from saying how great Visser 3 is.
Yeah. They were just like, they were more focused on Eric decimated things. We got the crystal. Yeah. We're somehow alive. I mean, I wasn't alive as Marco.
I liked how Marco looked to Rachel and saw that she was crying, and that was almost the only thing he needed to see to just understand just how bad it was. That if that's the reaction from the person that arguably thrives the most in horrible, violent situations, then it's bad.
And she saw it.
Yeah.
She seems like she was one of the more conscious people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we bring up how Cassie is on her like 4th genocide because it means more coming from her. Rachel's all crazy about fighting and stuff, and she's like, "No, this was bad. This was very bad."
That's the one that would make that.
And so you're like, "Oh, it must have been real bad."
So,
and so then we see Eric also crying, and he's a robot, and he's like, "Huh, I wonder how that works." Wait, that's not important.
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is not the time for that. I do want to read a part from this part where he goes over to Eric to be like, Eric, because Eric's not talking to anybody, but since Marco and Eric are best buddies for life, Eric talks to Marco here. He says, "You saved our lives, Eric." And Eric said, "How do you live with the memory?" So internally, Marco says, "I knew what he meant. See, win or lose, right or wrong, the memory of violence sits inside your head. It sits there like some lump you can't quite swallow. It sits there, a black hole that darkens hope and eats away at everyday happiness like a cancer. It's the shadow you take into your own heart and try to live with." I shrugged. I guess I try not to think about it. I try and forget. And after a while, the nightmares don't happen as much. And that's when Eric says, "I'm an android. I can't ever forget." There was a lot of times I had to like stop for a moment and like put the book down for like a good minute or two and just kind of like wait a second and then keep going. Because that's heavy. Like you've tainted this creature now forever, has this memory of not just, it's not like he like punched someone. Like, oh, I yelled at my kid when I shouldn't have, or oh, I pushed my brother when I shouldn't have, or whatever it is. It's I
killed
murdered
3 dozen
like 50 people
in seconds.
And yeah. And I've never done that before. Anything close to that. Yeah, pretty intense. So Eric says, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Hold on." And
I bet it's like if Superman had never fought anyone before, but he's seen like James Bond movies where they're just like punching each other in the face over and over and over again. He's like, "Yeah, I can take out a group of bad guys too." And he's like, boom, and then like the guy explodes. He's like, "Oh no,
yeah, this is
oh
real."
no, no, oh no, oh no."
Yeah. So they just kind of, Eric says, "Hey, we got your back though. If you need any intel, if you want to know, you got someone on the inside," which is still really awesome. You have someone on the inside that has a hologram ability that can like camouflage whatever. That's a pretty significant upgrade, even if you don't get their strength and fighting ability or whatever. But they do have this crystal, and they're like, I don't know. It's almost like Marco's, in my opinion, it was like Marco was like, "What do I do with this? Like, I don't even want this anymore. Ugh." Like it just feels, everything feels gross and bad, and so he just lets it go in the ocean.
The Chee don't want it. Marco can't take over everybody's instant messenger with it. He's like, "I don't have anything to do with this, but keep it away from the Yeerks."
Yeah.
And so he feeds it to Homer, Jake's dog.
Yeah, and he doesn't eat it.
Dog.
Let's say that he did not eat it.
Maybe he takes it into the water and he comes back and you can't see it.
It never says he dropped it in the ocean. That's true.
Yeah, and it just implies it. It's like, crystal, yum.
Even better.
Yeah, and then I think we just end there, right? Like we just end.
Yeah.
The dogs are happy. Okay, and everything. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough time.
So like basically they did all this terrible stuff for nothing because they're not going to do that. Kind of like at the beginning where they turned into dogs to go see the concert, and then they're like, "Hey, that guy doesn't smell like anything. Let's get out of here." Yeah. And they didn't see the concert. So they went through all that, convincing Jake, and like, "Nope, not going to do it. Not going to watch Offspring."
We start and end with a mission that didn't actually... I mean, it did, because they had Eric anyway, right? They had Eric anyway before that final mission. But Eric had to find out, otherwise he was going to be, I don't know, probably sulking the whole time if he didn't experience it. He wasn't probably going to let it go. I don't see a scenario where the Animorphs say, "I'm not going to do this mission," and then Eric is like, "Okay, I guess I just won't fight."
That was one of the things I found frustrating when the Animorphs were talking about, when they were debating whether to do this mission or not, and Cassie was very against it. And it just felt like, well, regardless of your own arguments for or against, this is ultimately Eric's choice about whether he's going to like taint himself as a species. Like, it just seemed kind of paternalistic for Cassie to be like, I know better than you, Eric. What's best for you? And I'm not going to help you in this thing. Where it seems, even from her perspective, this is a choice that the Chee would need to make. And then we ultimately see he does have to make the choice at the end that this is not what he wants. But that felt like a more appropriate way of handling that choice.
It is just Eric, right? Like, my wife asked me, like, is it all the Chee? Do they have some kind of like shared mind thing? I think it's isolated to Eric, right?
I think so, but I don't know. At some point, I had the impression that there was maybe like a couple others that were like on his side, that he wasn't just totally soloing it. But we don't ever see that, so that could have been in my head.
Yeah, and even if they were, he can be like, hey, I have the memory, but like I'm not going to share it with you because you don't want any part of this. Yeah. Okay.
And you think Maria back at the doghouse is like, hey, did you bring that crystal back? Because I found out that I can't use my left hand very well. I just, I'm kind of a right hand. I want to be ambidextrous.
I really could use that.
I threw it in the ocean.
Nope, never found it.
Don't worry about it.
No.
Nope.
What crystal? Was there a crystal? I don't think there was a crystal.
Yeah.
No, it turns out it was candy. She's brought candy.
Yeah. So I don't know. What'd you guys think? Serena, we usually do like 0 to 10. And I know that you have said in the past that you don't rate them because you can't possibly be objective. Yes, I don't know if this breaks your rule or not for that. So if you can't do it, I get it. But what do you guys think? What does everyone think about this book?
I'll go ahead and start if that's all right today.
Go, Alex.
I will start off by saying the things that I found very strong about it. I definitely think that Marco does the best job of describing the just absolute body horror of all of the viscerality of this, how transformations are, how the hierarchy in nature of creatures eating other creatures, the violence inherent in all of it. He does a great job capturing all of that, and it doesn't shy away from it even in the moments where they're like, yeah, we kind of got to do this. So I think that's great. I think that there is a great tonality between heavy subject matter and clearly someone who is doing their best to deal with it, while at the same time this like compartmentalizing some of it, and then other parts of it, it's like, I'm going to have to deal with that when I've got more time.
Yeah, very much.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense for a teenager who's doing their best. I will say that the weaker parts of the book are some of the lore dumps that just feel very, here's all that happens, so here's what we want from you. And I almost feel like you could say, it doesn't really matter what the story is. The Animorphs, as long as they don't feel like these guys are bad guys and they feel like the other guys are bad enough guys, that it's very much we're on the side of the angels and we're going to go ahead and help them out one way or another. Now, whether we find out that was a good choice or not, that comes later in the story. That's the moral of the whole thing. But definitely some moments that more discussion with the Animorphs and more time to kind of dwell on this would have probably lent a little bit more heft to the crew making their choices around participating in this mission, rather than just, we got to do what's right by them, and then, oh no, we got jumped, and now we don't really have as much of a choice. That made some of the decisions a little bit weaker. But the character moments, again, really, really punch hard in this one, especially at a moment that I remember with Tobias is talking about. I think it was Cassie actually says something like, yeah, that's the law of the jungle, eat or be eaten. And Tobias, the one person who's stuck in the animal kingdom and doesn't get this luxury of, let me go to and from, basically says, yeah, but wouldn't that be nice if that wasn't the way that it had to be? Kind of like highlighting, y'all are literally in a position to kind of effect that kind of change on these species, on these groups of people and such. And it just felt like a really, really cool moment that ultimately falls flat because the real world outcome of this morality doesn't really go according to plan. Nobody really feels good about how the outcome goes. So if I did have to rate it, I would definitely give this. Okay, good. Just making sure. I'd probably give this 7 functional spider legs out of 8. I think it was a good Marco book.
You are throwing off our ratings.
Hold on, I need to do a ratio. So 7 over 8 equals X over 10.
Oh no, you know this. This is what? This is 87.5%.
There you go.
87.5%.
Okay, great.
But no, I thought it was good. I liked it as a book. I like Marco best as a character and find him least annoying whenever it's inside of his own head, because I feel like his decisions make a lot more sense, and a lot of his bravado is more grounded. But yeah, this was good. This was a good one. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved this one as well. Just like the last Marco book, I really enjoy Marco's point of view and his sense of humor. And yeah, lots of really good writing in this. Like when Eric gets hit by a bus, I'm like, I want to know everything about what's going on with this guy. When they are spiders and at the picnic, I'm like, yeah, I want to know everything about what's going on. And like, wait, what? There's two of them. Wait, why are they inviting him over for lunch or whatever? I also liked a lot of the relationships in this one. I felt like it feels like Rachel is a lot flirtier with Marco in these than in the other characters' books, and I don't know if that's just because Marco's
wishful thinking,
hoping
Yeah.
it. And he's like,
Yeah, but it is written that way, right? It is a slight bit that way.
you know what? I'm telling the story. She is into me.
Yeah, very much that. I pick up on that too. That's a good one.
And then with Marco and Axe running around as spiders, I kind of got a Shaggy and Scooby-Doo kind of a vibe, where Marco's kind of the comic relief character, and then Axe is like, part animal sort of, but also, can talk.
Yeah.
And they're just getting up to wacky stuff, and I guess that wasn't super wacky, but yeah, just
wacky
I
enough.
enjoyed
Getting, you're
enjoyed
saying getting eaten by a crow and exploding out of it isn't wacky shenanigans?
wacky.
Come on.
It's shenanigans.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like I like just about everything about this book. I really want to give it 10 exploding crows out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Exploding Crows. That's a good band name. Why weren't they at that concert?
Scheduling
Busy being
conflict.
counted.
Serena, are you able to rate it?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I can rate it.
I don't want to go against your
No, it's not. I mean, it's my. It's not really. It's morals. And plus, my reread is finished, so I successfully completed mine without rating it. So now it's also many years gone at this point. So, I think I would probably end up at around an 8 or 8 or 9, somewhere higher, because I also really liked it. Marco is one of my favorite characters. I remember liking him as a kid reading it, but I think as an adult it hit home a lot more strong. I think some of his inner arc is like some of the most compelling stuff with his mother and the father. There's just so much deep stuff that you get into with his, even if you only see it in brief moments. I also just like his inner voice. He somehow manages to balance, being the comedy character, but then also being the very practical, strategic character. And I don't think you often see those two traits combined into one character. So I think he's very interesting in that way. And then I agree about the relationships. I think he's got a lot of interesting dynamics with everyone. The Axe deadpan thing with his comedic timing works really well with Marco.
Yeah.
Having him pull out Jake from his stoic leader moments is nice. There's just a lot of good stuff there. And then I think this book introduces a lot of concepts that you can even without like spoiling anything later, you can kind of see how it could be used. So that this is like probably something that's going to be interesting. And it expands the world out in interesting ways. So yeah, I really like it. Probably about a 9, I would say.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the Chee seem. I mean, there's characters that have shown up so far that we don't know if they'll show up again, right? Like Melissa, we've only seen once. The Elemist, we've only seen once. Now
Batman
the Chee
came back here.
Yeah, and the Chee we've only seen once. But some of these feel like a bigger deal than others. And like this seems like one that would be unavoidable, right? I'm trying to like say things without like spoiling future books and things, but I mean,
Are you
this seems
saying
like
that Chee might be more important than Melissa Chapman?
maybe, possibly. I mean, it just seems like a real ally. You know what I mean? There's no way you could progress in the story and be like, well, we have these like robots that are super strong and like infiltrate the sharing and have crazy technological advances, but we just don't talk about them. Whatever. Yeah, it's got to be used, right? So, so it's a pretty big level up for the team, I think. And the convenience of learning about the Pemelites as there's a Pemelite crystal at MatCom, as Marco's dad is being recruited by MatCom, is very convenient. Whatever. I mean, it has to happen for the story. It's fine. I could look past it. I think this book is freaking awesome. Like, as I was reading it, I was I was like, I think this is the best one we've read so far. And I don't remember exactly what I gave everything. It makes me want to like maybe like take all my other ratings down by 1 to make sure that this one's better in case I gave another 10. Because I think this one is great. I don't think the convenient stuff brings it down enough for me. I know that the mission at the end didn't ultimately accomplish a ton, but it's so high stakes. There's so much going on. It's like it's straight up war now. They are like just in a war. Gosh, like talking about violence and throwing the moral conundrum that these 12-year-olds are going back and forth on and like, trying to figure out, like, on top of the last book where Cassie's already trying to figure out like where their humans' place is in nature and who has the right to do what, and just they're really battling with some stuff right now while they're getting their limbs torn off. So I think this book's great. I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10.
Wow.
I want to be like, oh, let me pick at this part of this plot of this character, whatever, and be really detail oriented and find flaws. But I mean, I love this book. I thought this book was great, and it was a little longer than the usual one we've been reading, so it was like a little bit more of it. I could almost like sense where the book would normally end, and then we got that whole like last Matcom Mission Impossible Black Room thing to finish it off. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for me, dog. 10 out of 10. Wow. 10 out of 10. Black rooms with wires that you can't see and walls that you can't touch and floors that you can't touch except for the outer boundary part where you can. Out of 10.
We'll allow it.
Oh, don't make me type that into our ratings.
I hope someone's tracking it and they have to write that as a unit of measurement. That would be great. Yeah. Okay, good.
I loved it. Yeah. It was great. Serena, I want you to know that I used your previous read through as my notes for this book. Yeah. I want to hear more about you.
Yeah. I find that you're using the read through as notes. I remember when I started it out, I was like, okay, I'm going to be selective with how I summarize the story. And I think if you like read through what I wrote, there's a couple in the early reviews where I like write like a couple of paragraphs. I'm like really restrained. I'm like doing fine. And then as it progresses, I'm like pretty much writing out the whole book. Just like, wow.
You every totally character, like, yeah.
Well, and the funny thing about it was I started doing this, I don't know, a couple of years into doing the blog, and I was trying to figure out how to like fill out my calendar. And I'm like, okay, it's hard to like read the number of books you need to read to like get posts up on a regular basis. And I read a lot of science fiction, fantasy, and like they're huge. So it's like a commitment. It's like, oh, I'm going to game the system. I'm going to reread these like small little middle grade books that I loved as a kid. And that's going to like save me so much time. And this is a great plan. So I set that up and I started doing it. And then I start writing like 1,000-word reviews, and ultimately it takes me like twice as long. Like, it took me an hour to read the book. It takes me like twice as long to write these reviews, and it just completely backfired.
Was that your first time to read it again since being like the first run through, or had you been well versed? I
had reread it a lot as a kid, so it had been quite a long time since I'd reread any of them. But I had reread the entire series at least once before, like totally. And I'm sure like those early 20 books I probably reread a bunch just over and over as a kid.
When did you jump into it? Do you remember? Like, do you remember the first book you got that was like, this is a new one?
This is the first book I got. I was given it because it has a cat on the cover, and I liked cats, and I was like a 10-year-old girl or whatever. And like, oh, Serena, you're gonna love this book. Then my parents knew nothing about it.
Right? I had no idea what they were introing you
to. Yeah, much to their dismay, because an obsession was born.
Hi, Future Patrick here. It turns out that a couple weeks after she recorded with us, Serena met K.A. Applegate and got her book signed. Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I was somewhere. I think this is probably the newest. I mean, I was like book 1 or 2 or 3 when I started, so right at the very beginning. And I would like diligently save up all my money every month on my like income to like go Barnes and Noble or Borders or wherever and buy my $5 Animorphs book.
$5, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So, the first one I saw was The Departure. Was my first new one that I saw on the wall at Barnes & Noble. I remember that floor to ceiling. Not The Departure, the Departure. Yes, the Cassie Butterfly one that on the cover. That one, yeah. Yeah, I noticed also you gave a point to this book as well. Do you think the Animorphs won this thing?
Yeah, I think because I can't remember who mentioned it, but yeah, it is a big level up for the team to have the Chee.
Yeah.
Like some of my point systems.
Yeah. At this point, they're up.
Creative.
They're up.
Yes.
They're up.
I think they always stayed up. They lost a lot of ground at certain points, but I don't think they were ever behind totally.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but they were up.
Otherwise, it'd be
This was a
called
win.
Visser 3, not the
Yeah.
Not
Well, I
Animorphs.
mean, there is a book called Visser, so I mean, that could have been it.
This is true.
Dang. That's
There
it.
is
Yeah,
one.
this is when they break even, and now
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
guys in charge. Sorry, y'all.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you? So like when you started it, did you expect? I mean, I think in the end you tallied it, or you did tally it. Spoilers at the. Well, no, I can't. Okay. How do I phrase this question with Alex?
Do I need to
around here?
check
Okay.
out of the podcast for a few seconds so you could say it?
No, because then everybody that hasn't read the books is going to have to check out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I have a good question, but whatever. I was just like, did you expect the score at the end that happened? I guess, like as you were tallying them, did you expect it to be close?
I think it was
far?
probably a little closer than I would have thought. I think,
Okay.
because I think the inclination is to just, I mean, they're always winning. They're not dead ever at the end of the book. So,
Yeah.
in theory,
Yeah.
they should get a point every single time. But
Yeah.
I found there was more where I looked at it and I'm like, I think the Yeerks might have won that one. So that was a little surprising that there were some that did even fall that way. Sometimes I don't know if my awarding was so much based on the happenings of the book as other feelings, but yeah.
I'm gonna start awarding myself a point every day when I get up and say, "I'm not dead today.
Right.
1 point for me.
Yep.
I will
mean,
beat life."
They kind of reward themselves that way. Like, at least we survived. I mean, there's like several books that end with like, at least we survived.
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So it was fun though.
Yeah. What inspired the whole project in the first place? Like I mean, either the like the whole. I mean, not just the Animorphs, but like the whole thing, the whole blog, the whole project that you got going.
My friend Kate, she's the other half of our blogging duo. We were both in library school together. So, we're
Cool.
already reading a bunch of books and writing a bunch of stuff. So we're like, I think we should add more of that to our schedule. Make
it
more
going.
work for ourselves.
Well, 10 years is a long time.
Yeah, and I think at a certain point it just became a momentum thing. We have had a pretty solid system. We each have very defined genres that we read, so we don't have to really plan too much with each other on like how we time out our schedule. So it just kind of chugs along like a well-oiled machine at this point. But I don't know.
Cool.
I guess we'll stop eventually. But
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
I mean,
It's
reading's
fun.
always good, right?
Yeah.
Reading's always
Plus,
fun.
it like justifies my
You're never-
habit of buying books. Like I need to do it. It's for the blog.
Yeah,
for the
it's
blog.
Business
Yeah,
expense.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
business expense.
Right. Yeah. Can I like charge that somewhere? Tax write-off.
Yeah, very good. Okay, well, cool. Man, I'm so glad you joined us for this.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was great. Thanks for having me. I'd be happy to come back
One more
anytime.
time, what's the website?
Say again,
One more
Patrick.
time, what's the website?
Oh, one more time.
It's libraryladies.com.
Awesome.
TheLibraryLadies.com.
TheLibraryLadies.com. We're also on Instagram, though we're not very good at posting there. So
But you are on Instagram.
we are
Okay.
there at the Library Ladies. Yeah.
Okay.
Zach, are we on Instagram? I'm not in charge of that.
Ooh, what are we on? That's a good thing. We should probably drop all the things we're on. We don't say that enough. Where are we? We're on. We're on.
We have a link tree.
We're on Spotify.
Everything's
we're
on
on
the link
Amazon
tree.
Podcast. We're on Apple. We're on Pandora because that's a thing.
That's
Shout
okay.
out to you, one Pandora listener that's listening
The
to us right now.
octogenarians out there, enjoy.
We're on YouTube. We have a Blue Sky account. I think that's all the things.
TikTok, right? You
Oh,
did a
yeah,
TikTok?
We're not the best at
You
updating
sent
that
me a
one.
link to the TikTok.
We never
Yeah.
tried TikTok.
But
It's
anyways-
like admitting the age thing. We're like, yeah, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, it was my first time getting on there, and I felt old immediately being upon it. Yeah. Just like by blogging into this, I am now older. Yep. Well, great. Well, we haven't fully figured out a sign off, and I think our sign off is now that we haven't fully figured out a sign off at this point.
It's a good one.
But,
Yeah, well, that's how they get
but
you.
thanks for coming. We'll catch.
You're very
we'll
generous.
catch y'all. We'll catch y'all next time. All right. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Animorphs 55, the podcast, is a fan-driven, nostalgic podcast created by Zach Hurdle, Patrick Viersba, and Alex Holton. But don't tell the Yeerks. Theme music provided by Neko Boy. Podcast artwork by Rachel Hurdle. Episodes edited by Patrick Viersba. Based on the 90s sci-fi kids series written by K.A. Applegate, Michael Grant, and other contributing authors. To contact the show, email animorphspodpeople@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
And opinions expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect the views of the Animorphs 55 the podcast crew.